Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Maxon Report. This evening, we have a Mr. Kellen Wymer. Am I saying that right, sir? I should have asked.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right. Big offensive tackle and also a big defensive presence. Over at Liberty High School, you guys just came off a state championship. We'll definitely kind of touch on that here shortly. But welcome to the program, sir, and thank you for really taking some time and having you on.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We're just going to kind of dive right in here. Your state championship this year, but where did it all kind of start for you? Where did your love for the game really kind of come from? Have you always been kind of an Ohio native?
Yeah, for me, I grew up in Ohio, small town, Liberty Center, and it's kind of football's always been a rich tradition here. We've really always been good, really, for the most part. And it's kind of just been built on every year from the youth program all the way up. And it definitely started in the youth program, starting in preschool. My parents had me playing flag football. And ever since then, the love's just built for the game.
That's awesome, man. I started a little bit of Pee Wee, and I have a godson that's started his first year in flag football. So definitely kind of building some skills there so I can understand that background. Before he gets hit, we want him to understand a little bit of the concepts and the X's and O's of the game, other than just kind of getting down there and smashing some people. But Liberty, did you start in middle school? Is it all kind of connected over in Liberty? I'm from Cincinnati. I graduated Miamisburg and Dayton area, so I'm familiar with it a little bit, but not too much. So if I ask, it's purely just educational.
Yeah, since junior high, I've kind of always been the bigger kid in the grade, and I've always just kind of been put as the offensive lineman, and that's kind of where my roles just started. It's just been that bigger kid that played the O-line, and I kind of just took the role and did the most I could with it.
And we discussed offline some of your defensive presence too. When you got put to the offensive line, what did you feel comfortable there, or have you always kind of favored, personally, like one over the other, or do you like playing both ways? Like a little bit like, oh man, if I go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no. Yeah. It's funny you asked that. Yeah. My freshman year, I didn't really start. I was only like 6'3", 205. And I knew going into my sophomore year, I wanted to, make an impact and play for us. So I kind of had a big off season, and I grew a little bit, put on about 40, 50 pounds. And I went into the season kind of hoping to get on the D line. We had two good guys coming back on tackles for us, and actually during two-a-days my sophomore year, one of them went down, and it was kind of like really getting close to the season, and that's where I got thrown in there, play tackle, and I mean ever since then it's all just blew past, and it was obviously not a good thing to happen, having a guy go down, but I don't know if that didn't happen, I would be where I'm at today. So I would definitely say now I definitely favor offense. Ever since I got in there, you can make big impacts on the O-line just like you can defense, and I think that's my favorite part.
Yeah, and I'm over in Carlisle now. We call them the tank group, in our off season when I'm working with them, and I tell them, and I have a little bit of a Marine Corps background too, and I tell them it all starts in the trenches. That's where all the warfare is. That's where the outside guys, they get a little bit of flash and glamour, but the inside guy, does any good coach in America knows that you are nothing without your O-line offensively. I call it trench warfare. You go in there, you dig it out. It's man on man. It's just you got a little bit of help and some scheme, along the way, but it's just bare knuckle boxing down there. Is kind of what I tell my kid. Obviously, I don't want people punching each other in the face with helmets, but I tell them it's kind of the fight for your life. Is that kind of how the concept goes for you guys? I mean, being so successful, especially.
Yeah, for sure. Coming for us, we run a wing T, so it really does start up front, and we've been fortunate to have really good O linemen and players the past couple of years. So we love our O line here.
That's awesome. And not to take you back to negative memory lane, but your junior year, you guys, you can kind of take me through that season, the 2024, 2025 season, or I'm sorry, 23, 24 season. Going, you get there, you get to the championship game, and obviously you avenged it, but kind of take me through that mentality, because we have a lot of young viewers and stuff like that as well, and
Yeah.
for those young guys that face diversity, kind of take me through that.
Yeah, starting my freshman year, I was real fortunate to be on that state championship team. We were led by some really good guys, and it was kind of like my freshman year was the first time we've been back for a long time. I mean, over 20 years, and it was almost surreal. And you got that taste, and we obviously we lost, and you left that bad taste for us. But as a freshman, you knew you had 3 years. You saw what it took from that senior class, so we knew we had to get better and do more to get back there and win. And then obviously my sophomore year, I got to get in there and start, and that was an awesome opportunity. It's just the mentality going in is you really, no matter the size of the stadium for us, we got to still go and play the same way, no matter the circumstances or where you're at. And I just think, the most important thing is, even if you're battling adversity, I believe we were down 14-0 in my sophomore year, and we ended up getting real close in the end. And I think it's just having that mentality that, even if you're down, you got to bend, don't break. And that's what kind of one thing we live by here.
Absolutely, and that's what I preach. I preach and I preach and I preach to my athletes that adversity is who we find out who you really are, because everybody's having a good time when you're up 20 points, and the younger guys are getting in that don't get a lot of reps, and the vets are swinging their towels and swishing the water in their mouth when they come in. And, that doesn't tell me the character of the team, but just like you said it perfectly, being down and having that rebound and just things of that nature. And then this year, kind of really take me through. You guys, you kind of dust your shoulders off there, and you go forward. And you guys, what's that off season like when you first hit the weight room?
After getting there twice and coming up so close, we knew what our goal was. We knew what it took at that point. I mean, at that point, it wasn't luck. We knew what we were doing in the weight room and in the off season work, and we knew we needed to do more. I mean, and it took a lot more. I mean, the day after the state championship, me and the seniors and the other guys and the younger kids, we were making sure everyone was in the weight room lifting. We were doing speed training at 6 a.m. before school. I mean, it was taking a lot more than it. We were putting it in. We knew the seniors' motto was, "It took more, it takes more," and that was kind of something we lived by. It wasn't just a saying, and I think that's really what was important for us. We had that motto, and a lot of schools can come up with mottos, and it's something they say, but for us, it was something real important that we had to go by our everyday life doing, and that really carried us through the whole year. We had some close. We really had a close game in the regular season at the end of the year, but we just, the senior class really is like one of a kind. I mean, one of the best senior classes I've ever been a part of. I'll never forget this group. I mean, it's probably the closest team we've ever had, and I think that's also really important for success on the team. Is I think we were more of a family than we were just teammates, and I think that's when teams really succeed, is when you're going out there and playing for your teammates and your brothers beside you, instead of going out there playing for yourself. So I think it just took a lot of work, a lot of bonding, and a lot of getting in the weight room and stuff. So
Absolutely, and that's even you as a junior seeing that, and I mean, hell, like you said, you're bringing that mentality even there next year. That's that this upcoming season being your senior year, and do you feel like the repeats in you? I mean, you don't have to answer that. That's just kind of.
I hope, I really hope, but hope can only take you so far. I think I think this personally is going to be the hardest year for us. Not as in we're not capable, but as in the fact that the past 3 years we've had that bad taste in our mouth, and we've been super motivated to get back and win it. And this year we finished a job, so now that leaves us as seniors to figure out a way to keep everyone just as motivated as we were before, to want to put in that extra work. And I think that we can't be content with where we are, because the years before that, we wanted it more. Everyone was putting in more and more work because we had that bad taste and we were tired of losing, and we didn't want to be that team that always came up and lost. So this year, we have to uphold that standard that those seniors left behind, because it really, you have to live up to that standard if you want to be one of the best to do the game and be one of the best. And so it's gonna take a lot of work and getting everyone to buy in, including the freshmen, because it takes everyone. So I think that's what we need to do.
And just kind of to tie a bow on it, you get there this year. You're a junior this year. You get there. You guys, give me that experience of winning it when the clock strokes 0.
Honestly, it doesn't even feel real. It's so hard to believe, now. It's so crazy because it's just all of that work, the burnouts, the extra work, the waking up at 6:30 in the morning before school for lifts and speed training, it all finally paid off. And then at the same time, you're so happy in the moment, but honestly, 3 days later, 2 days later, when you're done, you're thinking, it's like, man, it's almost just as hard as losing. You're done, you build so great relationships with your teammates, and it's like your brothers. You're never gonna play with them again. Those seniors, and it's an unreal feeling. I mean, in the moment, it was the craziest night. We got to stay at a hotel with all the guys. I mean, it was probably one of the best nights of my life. But I mean, it's still, even winning it, it's still hard, honestly.
And I'll say this, just outside looking in, sir, and as a coach myself, best night of your life so far. You have a absolute amazing future ahead of you, and I truly mean that. And so you wrap that up. We're in the middle of a little bit of the off season this year, and well, with that being said, before I kind of go into recruiting, what do you like to do in the off season? What kind of unplugs you a little bit? I'm not saying your love for the game. I'm saying what relaxes you. What is what's your reset button? Oh,
Honestly, I've kind of, since we've won and since we've lost, it's always kind of just been a go, 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 get right back at it. And I used to wrestle my freshman year, but ever since then, I kind of wanted to focus on football. And now, honestly, for me, it's just been right back at it. I mean, it's still, we're lifting with this football team 3-4 days a week, then doing speed training. Then I'm going up to Cleveland on the weekends, just trying to, continue to get better. So, I mean, I guess I would say, if I would have to say a way of relaxing, it'd just be kind of getting in the weight room, lifting, being with my buddies. I think that's what it is for me.
and we all have our own thing, and I a lot between coaching and being in the Marine Corps for a long time. Everybody's got their own thing. I know guys that will rent a cabin for 2 or 3 days and chill out and reset. Guys that just go by the pool or the beach and reset. So, it's good to see that. And there's nothing wrong with the weight room being your sanctuary. I can attest to that for a long time. So that's really great to hear. And kind of pushing a little bit further here. We know you got a commitment, and I'll kind of let you speak on it. But take me through the recruiting process, because back in my day, I'm 36. Back in my day, it was we didn't have the internet and huddle and things online, and kind of a lot more accessible things. A guy had to come down and evaluate you with a pen and paper and a stopwatch in his hand and a whistle around his neck, and it was kind of old fashioned that way. So to talk to you young guys right now and really kind of get a loop in how things are today, kind of take me through that. What's the recruitment process been like for you?
Yeah, it's, for me, it was really crazy, honestly. I didn't really know about it, honestly. I downloaded Twitter one day, and I posted my sophomore film. I didn't know Twitter was like the important thing to be on at the time. And I posted my sophomore film on there. I didn't really think anything of it. I got some views on it, a couple of likes. And one day I was just in school in Toledo, had come to see me. And I mean, I didn't really know like what was happening in the moment. This coach come to see me. He's telling me he wants me to come to some spring practice, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't even know what this guy's talking about. And I talked to my head coach and we set up a visit there, a spring practice visit. And I went there and I had watched the practice, talked to the coach afterwards. Nothing really came of it. And then I was on Twitter the other night, that same night, checking my phone, and the O-line coach had texted me to call him. I'm like, oh, well, I wonder what's gonna happen. I called him and he offered, and then really ever since then it kind of just blew up. Honestly, it was just surreal. I didn't know how important Twitter was at the time, but if I would have to recommend anything, I'd recommend kids be on Twitter posting workout videos, highlights, all that, because coaches look at it and they see it, and I think that was something real important for me.
Oh, big time. And you're obviously you're committed to Ohio State. And tell me what that's like. Did you get to talk to Coach Day? Did you get to meet his staff? Or
Yeah, so it's funny. I honestly never thought I'd be able to go to Ohio State, to be honest with you. I remember my sophomore year sitting at the lunch table with my buddies, all the seniors actually. And, we were talking. I had 5 offers at the time. It was all the MAC schools, and they're like, what if you get Ohio State? That'd be so crazy. I'm like, yeah, I would never go there. I was a Michigan fan growing up. I'm like, yeah, I'd never go to Ohio State, even if I had to go to a MAC school. I'm like, telling them all this stuff, and here I am today. But I mean, taking those visits to Ohio State and building those relationships and seeing the culture there, it's really awesome to be able to be around that. And the day I committed, I was down there with Coach Day, and I committed with him. He was the first one I told. So it was just a super cool moment to meet him and be with him, to do that. And it's really just a blessing.
right, definitely amen to that. And we know a little bit about the culture. We had former Buckeye coach Jim Trussell on about a month ago, and we really got to talk to him and break down Buckeye Nation, and how things really are and how things are passed on, and how it's such a brotherhood, and they really stress that. And I think that also the message that they're building you to be not only football players but young men in life is also important too. So that's good to hear that Buckeye Nation got your ear, even though that you grew up a Michigan fan, and I'm a triplet. My brother Jameson is a Michigan fan, so yeah, I understand it to a degree. So, but that's great, man. And those visits and stuff like that. Was there a specific game that you got to go down there and kind of see things are, and it kind of blew your mind, or kind of take
Yeah,
me through that if you don't mind?
yeah. So like I was saying, I got Toledo in the spring. Then ever since then, I picked up some more offers, went to some camps, went to Ohio State's camp, and those were all kind of a first for me. I got a couple offers, and then after Ohio State called and offered, I knew that was a place I wanted to go visit. And I'd never been to a game day visit. I didn't know what to expect, and I think honestly, I think out of all the recruits, I think I got to go on the best first ever visit. I went to the Ohio State Texas game for the first visit, and that was crazy. I mean, there was fans everywhere on our bus ride in as we walked. I mean, it was the craziest moment of my life. There was just people everywhere, Ohio State, Texas people. I mean, I had this person yell my name. I had no clue who they were. I mean, it was just so crazy to be able to go on that. And then I went on some other visits to some other schools. I went and see Notre Dame, Indiana, Michigan State, and some other schools. And I'd been to Ohio State 3 times before I committed. I went to the Ohio game, Texas, Penn State, and I think one more I just can't remember. So I'd been there a lot of times, and I really liked the atmosphere and stuff.
Oh, absolutely, and especially Penn State being such a rivalry game, and Texas for their their meeting in the playoffs the year prior, and this year, and even their meeting week 2 of next year is becoming its own little rivalry for sure. So the fact that you got to witness that energy in that building, and what really before the playoff run in that team up north was our biggest game of the year. So that that's awesome. That's awesome that especially coming off your own championship yourself,
Yeah,
kind of experiencing that and that kind of energy and what it matches. But that's different. That's something that truly blessed, and I'm glad your hard work got you there, sir.
thank you.
Oh, absolutely. And we kind of we kind of talk a little bit. We'll go to some fun things here in a minute, but I kind of want to put a bow on this. I know you're committed, and I ask every guest this. You know, who does Mr. Wymer? You go down there, you're going to the next level. What do you bring to the next locker room, the next community, and the next team and the next fan base? On the next level. What for our fans that are going to see you in 2 years, in the scarlet and gray, what can they expect from Mr. Wymer?
Yeah, I think it's really been built into me here at Liberty Center is just being a great teammate and being a brother. Working on building relationships with everyone is a key thing here, and I think that's something I'll carry over. Is just being a teammate and looking out for my teammates and always having their back. And I think that's something that's really important to building good relationships, and especially if you want to go there. Hello, you good?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. You're good.
So yeah, I think that's just something real important. Is just being a great teammate, and then I think in the football standpoint, it's just I think I'm gonna bring a good athletic look. A lineman that's gonna go out there and play for the guys beside him, and I think I'm being pretty fast and physical player.
Hey, amen. And those are all. It's as a coach myself, that's everything we really look for. The relationship with teammates. Not being an individual. That flashiness and stuff like that comes and goes, but a guy that's a team player builds a long career in whatever he does, both on the field and off. So I think especially having that mentality this young, with another year of high school left, that's just that's great. That's something that can't be totally taught. That's not something you're born with. That's something that's stamped and engraved, and you got to buy into it from a coach or a role model, and you take it and you just do your own thing with it, and you bust through the walls. And it sounds like you're doing that pretty successfully.
Thank you.
Oh no, thank you. You're doing the work, sir. We appreciate it. But kind of that kind of caps the boat. Did I miss anything? Is there any other thing like you want to talk about, or any other?
No, I think I'm good.
Teammates or anything before we kind of get to the fun questions?
I mean, just teammates wise, we wouldn't be state champs without each other. So I think that's something to head on. We weren't just individuals, we were teams. So, all the guys came together. I mean, every person mattered and did their role, and that's why we were so successful.
Amen to that. Now, we always kind of end on on kind of a fun note. Sometimes we ask guys, what's your favorite movie or your favorite holiday or kind of season. But we'll kind of bust in. Is there like a go-to movie after a hard day, or is there like something you like to watch or something you like to do that's just kind of fun and kind of in the moment?
I like to play some Xbox. That's kind of a go-to after, a workout and stuff, and just a nighttime thing.
Is there a game of choice?
Right now, I've been playing some Minecraft with my buddies. So we got a little world.
It's been a while since I played Minecraft. That was bigger. That started getting big in my 20s, and then I had kids of my own who are into Fortnite. So I've been schooling myself up on some Fortnite in the recent months.
Nice.
So, well, but if you're ever in that, you'll probably bump into one of my kids at Fortnite. I promise. But they're killing the game. But that's fun. What kind of is there a music of choice? Is there something that winds you down or gets you bumping before a game or during workouts?
Yeah, I would say definitely some Metallica.
Oh my God!
Specifically one. So that's definitely a go-to.
You know what? I dig that. But you're never a former Marine, but as a Marine myself, we would do a lot of things in Metallica. We'd have a blaring out of the 7 tons with some raggedy speakers. We didn't have the JBL speakers that you guys had today, but it was certainly fun. So I can definitely appreciate that. But just kind of wrapping up here, sir, is there anything that you want to, we have currently 330 live viewers right now chiming in. Thank you to everybody that's watching. Thank you everybody that's been part of the program. But Is there anything you want to tell our viewers or share any information or, anything fun or anything that I might have missed?
Oh no, really, just thank you guys for watching. And thank you. If I ever run across one of you guys, feel free to say hi. Or I'm real talkable. So
Hey, and we would, like I said, one more year of high school to go. And, if you enjoyed our program and like being on it, I would love to have you back going into the next season or, follow up with you at the end of your guys' run, which I feel, I feel the winds are coming. I feel things that I'm not going to jinx it by saying it out loud, but I feel success is coming your way. And, we'd love to have you back on the program and really follow up.
for sure, definitely.
Oh, big time, big time. But this has been Kellen Wymer. This has been Jordan Maxon, the Maxon Report. Thank you, everybody that's tuned in this evening. We're up to 345 live viewers. We will have this interview on YouTube, Twitter, X, Facebook, Instagram. Sir, I'll send you an individual copy. You can post it to your page if you feel like it, or kind of share it wherever you feel necessary. We appreciate you having on. Welcome to Buckeye Nation. From one big fan to our big fan base. We're going to be proud to see you on Saturdays, but as you said, the mission is not done this year for you in high school. You guys are going to go out there and do what you need to do, take care of business, and we'll see you in Canton again sooner than later, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, thank you for having on. You all have a blessed night, and God bless you and your family and your teammates, sir.